Okay, welcome to our peek into the past. Today we're going to look back at growing up in 1774. Okay, we have a little baby on this page, a little pincushion. It says in colonial times, a family of 5, like Felicity's, was rather small. Many parents had 8 or more children. Usually, though, several of these children died before reaching adulthood. In fact, almost half of all children died before the age of 6. Colonial people did not understand the importance of eating proper food to stay healthy, or of keeping clean to avoid germs. Many children died from diphtheria, whooping cough, smallpox, or other diseases that today's doctors know how to prevent or treat. Babies were born at home. The birth was usually attended by a midwife, a woman who helps mothers during childbirth, as well as female relatives and servants. After a baby was born, a woman like Felicity's mother stayed in bed for a week or more. She rested for up to a month to get her strength back. Slave women and other working mothers usually could not rest for so long. Today, most women are active soon after their children are born. Parents usually had their babies christened a few weeks after birth. Christenings were religious ceremonies attended by relatives and close friends that often included feasting and dancing. While they were babies, both girls and boys dressed in loose-fitting gowns. Later, when they were William's age, they wore dresses called frocks. Under their gowns or frocks, some young boys and girls from families like Felicity's wore tightly laced stays. Parents believed the stays improved posture and provided back support. Even babies wore stays. By the age of 5 or 6, girls began dressing more like their mothers, while boys were breeched. Breeching meant that boys no longer wore frocks and stays, but instead began to wear pants called knee breeches. This change symbolized boys' break from the female world. From that time on, fathers took a greater role in teaching their sons, while girls continued to follow their mothers' examples closely. Colonial children, even wealthy ones, didn't have as many toys as children of the United States do today. Felicity and her friends had fun playing charades or singing games, going for walks or horseback rides, playing musical instruments, and reading aloud. If 18th century Virginia child did have a toy, it was usually handmade. Wealthier parents might buy their child an imported doll or a set of toy soldiers. How a child's teenage years were spent depended on the family's position in the community. Children from laboring families were already working long hours each day, helping their parents, or working for other families in kitchens, fields, and shops. Boys from wealthier families were still in school, or like Ben, were apprenticed to learn a trade. Girls from wealthier families had usually finished their education in reading and writing. They continued to improve the skills of housewifery needed to manage a home. Girls and boys met and courted at dances, teas, and other entertainments. The parents of young people hoped that their children would choose mates who were from the same kind of family as they were. Girls usually married in their late teens and soon began families of their own. Boys reaching the age of 16 were required to begin practicing with the militia unless they were black or under contract as apprentices. The militia was a group of men who had to be ready to fight and defend their city or country if it was in danger. Between the ages of 12 and 16, whites and free blacks like Isaac would serve as drummers or fifers for the militia. The Williamsburg militia kept its guns and equipment in the magazine, which is a military storehouse. The raid of the magazine by British Marines, which you could read about in Happy Birthday, Felicity, actually happened. Nobody knows for certain who raised the alarm that stopped the soldiers from taking more of the colonists' gunpowder out of the magazine, but it could have been young people like Felicity and Ben and Isaac. The event angered many colonists who wanted independence from England, and it helped lead to the Revolutionary War.